Our national debt shot up significantly after 9/11, after we started invading countries in the Middle East.
You should look at a chart.
Now we're at 30. In 2008, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Israel, on Ukraine. I mean, honestly, these foreign conflicts have a lot more to do with our national debt as opposed to us paying into Israel.
Hey, I'm just saying. Once again, CNN kind of do their job every once in a while. I'm glad Anna is there sitting right next to this guy here so he can hear everything that needs to be heard. First off, if we're talking about bankrupting America, look at all the dumb-ish that your party is doing alone. Hey, thank you for clicking this video. Just to let you know, this is a clip from my previous live stream that I did. Just want to let you know I go live every Sunday through Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you don't know what time that is, go ahead and Google that so you can meet me and have a conversation on my next stream. Once again, I appreciate you clicking this video. Now let's enjoy the video. All right, so this topic here, okay, once again, I'm 38 years old. I don't want to say like people my age don't think about Social Security, but I don't think about Social Security like that. I don't wake up in my mornings when I'm brushing my teeth, throwing on my work boots, eating my bagel. Yes, I eat a bagel and coffee every single morning. I know that's kind of old, but it's delicious, okay? But I don't think about Social Security, okay? I'm sorry. So when I seen Ben Shapiro on CNN talking about Social Security, I made it my duty today. Throughout my work day today, I had on Sam Cedar when he was debating valuetainment about Social Security. I watched other YouTubers talking about the history. So I was trying to fill my brain up with this information so I can partake in this conversation. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Learn yourself something so you can at least dabble a little bit. I'm not a professional at this, so don't be in my comments like, well, back in 1922, like blah, blah. Like, okay, I got you. But I know a little bit now. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go through my notes with you. Once again, when you're watching my content, you're going to learn something. You might be provoked to get out a pen and paper to take some notes. We just don't react to things. We learn and then react. Okay, so this is what I learned today. The origins and purpose. The origins created in 1935 during the Great Depression to provide economic security, designed as a safety net for retirees, survivors, and people with disabilities. Now, what is wrong with that? I don't think anything. As a country, you should be taking care of your older folks. They can't be out there moving and grooving like they're in their 20s. We got to take care of our older generation. There's nothing wrong with that. So this is how it's funded. Funded mainly by payroll tax. 6.2% from workers and 6.2% from the employers. Now, I've seen other different statistics or numbers which just vary by a little, but this seems to be the more consistent information I can find. And then money. Now, this is the important part. Money goes into trust funds, not the government's general budget. So once again, these are two separate entities we're talking about. Okay, that's important because I looked that up on purpose because, here's a spoiler. Ben Shapiro brings this up and it's like, you're a liar. So remember that. So who benefits? Retirees. Most Americans get monthly checks starting as early as 67 years old. Disabled workers and their families, illegal immigrants, undocumented individuals do not get this. Once again, they pay into it, but they don't have the credentials to get money out. So don't let these liars lie to you, because liars lie. And that's fact right there. So how does this work? Today's workers pay in money is used to pay today's individuals that retire. So we who are working are paying for those who are already retired, and that cycle kind of keeps going. Boom, 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 boom. So the only way that this will kind of fall is if people stop working. Then people can't get paid. You see what I'm saying? So here is 3 myths that I seen Sam Cedar had to debunk a few times. Does the government pay from taxes? That is false. It is funded separately by payroll taxes. Once again, don't let folks lie to you, or don't be the one lying to people. Shame on you. Is it going to be bankrupt? Not exactly. And this is the words from I wish I remember to post this video in the description. The trust fund may face shortfalls in 2030, which is why this is a conversation, but payroll taxes will still cover around 75 to 80% of benefits unless Congress acts. And you can't count on it. And the reality is, this is the most reliable program in U.S. history. It is the most popular program in U.S. history. So once again, when taking care of our older generation, that is important. All right, so let's go ahead and look at Ben Shapiro.
I mean, life expectancy
tried to weasel his way out of this conversation. Now, let's go ahead and take off our borders because we don't need them for CNN. All right, let's take a minute. This is a quick video, 3 minutes. So, let's make the most out of it.
I mean, the life expectancy, if you make it to 65 and you're a dude, is now 83. So the real question that I was asking is, when should the government pay you to retire? Which is a sort of a different question than when should you retire. When you should retire is sort of a personal question, and also it depends on your definition of retirement. I don't think that, if your goal is to be 65 and sitting on a beach for the rest of your life doing nothing, that the social science tends to say that's not very good for you. You actually should be involved in your community and get involved and still have a side job and all the rest of that. But
now, first off, no, Bill. No, not Bill. Ben, you sound like Bill Maher, but no, Ben. Let people do what they want, okay? You want to bring up the scientific community. Like, no, the scientific community is telling fools that they need their vaccinations, but you ain't copying that. You ain't saying that, right? But no, the scientific community. Ben, shut up, please. Just be quiet, okay? But continue.
If we really believe that we can't raise the retirement age and we're never going to change that, we will go bankrupt. And all the talk about cutting at the margins, whatever Doge is doing, that's not going to touch the real driver of the systemic debt in the United States. Women are living to 85 if you make it to 65. Men are living to 83 if you make it to 65. That's 20 years on the public dime.
When you're talking about the government paying, you're talking about Social Security, yes, which is people's money.
Well, it is not the money you paid in.
It's the system that they pay into.
Well, no,
you're calling paycheck stub.
Okay. Yes, well, believe me, I pay a lot.
I know, I pay into Social Security. I don't know about you.
I promise you, the amount that people are taking out is not the amount that is going in, which is why we are going bankrupt.
Okay.
See, now this right here is important to understand what the hell you're talking about. Because Ben seems to be under the notion that the government pays out of their pocket to these people who have retired. And we literally just went over notes that took me all day to accumulate. No, Ben. No, that's not how that works. So either you don't know what the hell you're talking about, which is very possible, or you are lying. And it might be a nice mix of the two. Because if you're telling people that the government is paying, then that gives them more of a reason to be against it. Because we know 9 times out of 10, Americans are greedy. They don't want their money going to help other people. So if you tell them that lie, they're going to be like, yeah, I don't want my hard-earned money going to them retiring, but that's not how that works. We literally just said it. I'll say it for you again. We ain't got nothing but time and opportunity over here. It is funded mainly by a payroll tax, 6.2% from workers and 6.2% from employers. Once again, Ben, it's all Googleable, if that's a word. Googleable. Got you.
But it's not the government just handing out a blank check.
No, it's the government borrowing money to pay.
Well,
you pay in X dollars, and then you get multiple times X dollars when you retire. That is how the system works. It is not a lockbox. This is what Al Gore was arguing about in 2000.
The other part of this, though, is at 65, right? I mean, yeah, you might be in great health. But many people are working hard jobs. They're on their feet.
It depends on what job.
I'm not saying if you're working back-breaking labor and your leg is falling off that you should be.
By the way, I just totally reject what you just said about how we're going bankrupt due to Social Security. Really, you don't think like the trillions of dollars we've spent on wars in the Middle East might have something to do with that?
It is not even
our
remotely
national
a percentage
debt.
of what we spend on Social
Our
Security.
national debt shot up significantly after 9/11, after we started invading countries in the Middle East.
You should look at a chart of
now we're at
national
30.
debt. In 2008,
we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Israel, on Ukraine. I mean, honestly, these foreign conflicts have a lot more to do with our national debt as opposed to us paying into the Social Security system.
Hey, I'm just saying. Once again, CNN kind of do their job every once in a while. I'm glad Anna is there, sitting right next to this guy here, so he can hear everything that needs to be heard. First off, if we're talking about bankrupting America, look at all the dumb-ish that your party is doing alone. Yes, I know Democrats partake in this dumb-assness, but Trump and his beautiful bill, him continuing to fund Israel, him giving all these tax breaks to all these rich folks, and you're talking about a retirement plan for older Americans to retire. That's what's going to do it, Ben. You see how disingenuous these people are? Oh, you're mad about old folks not eating cat food, which I don't know why that's always the example, because that's a bad something to look at. But you're mad at that, but not mad at your party continuing to send billions of dollars funding our military industrial complex is out the roof here. How much are we spending for the Pentagon? I'm just saying, there's a lot of lower hanging fruit that we can tackle. But of course, let's blame it on Social Security, right? Got you.
Is a bigger portion of our budget than Social Security, Medicare,
I think we
Medicaid.
spend way too much money on military aid for foreign countries.
You think
Absolutely.
Israel is more
Do
than
you
Social
think
Security?
that Social Security is more of an issue compared to how much money we just shell out for conflicts abroad?
As a matter of expenditures and math, yes.
And once again, the government is not just taking money from taxpayers' pool and giving it out to people. Like I just said, throughout the worker's life, they are paying into it. Today, when we get paid on Friday, you're going to see that portion being taken out of your check. So do employers. This money is not just being pulled out of nowhere. Just think about this. Once again, I'm flipping over tables if they bring me to a show like this. And Ben Shapiro better sit on the other side. I'm just saying.
Both entitlements and defense are a big issue. I actually think Ben has a point here. I think that the nature of aging has changed. I think retirement is evolving. I mean, my husband is 71 years old. He's still writing books. I'm 55. I hope to work for another 15 years at least. But I do think it depends on the kind of job you do. And it starts to get into the devil's in the details here, because if I'm working with my hands and I'm 65, that's a problem. Maybe technology can help, et cetera. But there's got to be some understanding of what people are doing. There's got to be probably some means testing, which gets to this point about the growing wealth divide, because there really are two Americas here.
Okay, first off, all right, this is for tomorrow. We don't want to show that. But first off, no, I'm sorry. Once you start doing all this mean testing, 9 times out of 10, black and brown folks, the marginalized groups in America seem to get the short end of the stick, first off. Second off, if we continue to sit here and push the age higher, what kind of productivity are you going to get from a 69-year-old? Hey, great number. What, like, how much are they going to contribute to a workforce? So they just keep saying, hey, we're going to push the age limit to 85 so we can save money. Damn. Like, what do you want, like a retirement year of like a year and then a person dies? Like, no. You know what that sounds like to me? And I know YouTube doesn't like this word, but I'm going to say it. Hell, I am going to say this word, and I don't care who doesn't like it or not. I'm going to say it. It starts with a C. Capitalism. Hey, there you go. That sounds like capitalism, just like something growing out your neck and kind of talking to you like a scary movie. Like, oh, just make them work longer. Make them work longer, more years. I mean, science says that it's good for them, right? So work these old people until they die. Why? This is supposed to be the wealthiest country on planet Earth, okay? And you're telling me that you want to push it further now to save money? But yet let's continue to give these subsidies to these millionaires and billionaires, right? Let's continue to do all these crazy tax cuts for the wealthy. But the poor folks that have to continue working when they're in their 70s and 75 and 80, just keep them working, right? You see how that doesn't work? Once again, I'm sorry, but just shut the hell up. That's all I'm saying. Just shut up, man. If you seem to not understand that, this conversation is not for you. And if you want to save the government some money, you just keep working and give away your money. Once you hit that age, give away your money and just keep on working, okay? Work, and I hope you I don't want to say the word, but I hope you just give your last days on the clock. Okay? At your employer's job. Just pass away right there, okay? If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that.
Let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.